Eddie. Um, just kind of the title of my show today is "Look." I mean, really look. And when I say look, not necessarily with your eyes, but look with your mind. Always observe. Look around at your people. Look around at your community, and just look at the state of affairs, or look at the state of how things are in your community, in your city, and always be not so much ego centered, and not necessarily ethno centered. But if whatever your ethnicity is, you need to be centered in that manner, in my opinion, first. And the reason why I say that, because you need to make sure that you're okay before you go and try to make sure someone else is okay. So clean up your community, clean up your household. Um, I'm always thinking about Meridian, and Meridian is Meridian is home for me. Alabama also is home for me. Um, I look at Meridian, I look at any community. Anytime I go out into the community, no matter where I am, whether I'm in Florida, California, Georgia, Alabama, no matter where I am, I look at the community. I look at my environment. I always pay attention to my environment, what's going on, how it is, how do people relate, how do they interact with each other. One of the things that I find in our community is that we have a lot of, I say we have a sense of false vibrato, meaning that we feel pride, and we feel prideful, and we feel haughty, and that we think that we are so great, and we think that we're so bad. But you know what? That's false. That's pseudo. That's not real. Because when you look at it, and if you lay down at night and you're depressed, you're sad, or you got to get high or something like that, then it's something wrong. Then what is it? What in reality that you're running from, that you have to either get high or either create this sense of false vibrato? You call it Facebook bullying. Like, I'm so bad, I'm so tough, I'm so sexy, I'm so pretty, I'm a thug, I can kill, I can murder. All these things are not getting us anywhere as a people. If you look at where we are as a people, we're at the very bottom of the food chain. We're at the very, very bottom. Isn't that ironic? You can brag and talk about we were kings and queens. We started civilization. We built the pyramids. We were doing complex math, science. Of all the Aristotles and Socrates, they went to Egypt, which is in Africa, to learn about psychology. And so we were navigating the earth and the stars. But so we got bragging rights for back then. But what about our bragging rights for right now? What is it that you're doing to create a legacy in your community? And it starts not just in your community, it starts at home first. So, what are you doing at home to create um, peace, um, utopia, uh, a sense of community, a sense of getting along, a sense of loving and being okay? We can only run so far. Now, one thing that I know we can't do, we cannot run to the edge of the earth, but we can only run so far. So, how far are we going to run until we do run to the edge of the earth? And not literally speaking, but metaphorically speaking, we can only run so far, and we get to the edge, and then we drop off, and we drop off into the bottomless pit, into nothingness, to nowhere. If you look at it, and one of the things that I admire about my Hispanic brother, my Hispanic neighbor, is that he came here during NAFTA. They was coming here before then, but they came in droves during NAFTA. That's North American Free Trade Agreement, whereas because of the free trade agreement between the North American countries, that's Canada, America, and Mexico, South America, Middle America, North America, but all of this North America. Because of that, the Mexicans came here. At that particular time, we were doing all the yard work. We were doing a lot of the building, and they have came in. I watched a neighbor of mine when I was living in McCalla, Alabama. This is Bo Jackson, where he grew up at and where he graduated from Macadora High School. Bo Jackson, Bo knows, the football player, baseball player. He grew up in this community, and this is an upscale community. I watched him take a house that was for sale, and it went through a transition. There was about 15 of them living in that house, and they could not even speak the language, and they walked 3 miles to McDonald's to go to work. That's one person did. The children got on that school bus and they went to Macador Elementary School. And now this same lady that could not speak English, that had to walk to work. Now she's the manager of that store. I went to McDonald's in Bessemer. I've been going to it for maybe about 15 years or more. And so, say about 2 years ago, I went there, and all of a sudden, you start seeing Hispanic. But I had the privilege to go to McDonald's in Bessemer on 9th Avenue about a month ago. The person that took my order was a Mexican, of Mexican national, or you would just say Hispanic from South America. The person that gave me my food was a Hispanic. And the iron what's ironic about all of this is that just 6 months ago, it was all black workers up in there, and now you go there now, there's all South Americans from South America, Mexico, Nicaragua, any of those places down there. They're from there, and they taking over, and so here we are. Is that we can't even we can brag about what we did, but we can't talk about what we're doing and what we're done now. We can brag about, we have bragging rights about what we've done, but the hell with what we done or what we did. And when I said we, I'm being inclusive of all black people. The hell with what we did and what we done. What are we doing now? We're not doing nothing. We're allowing for other people to come in that are lesser than us. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. And I'm talking about socioeconomically. They did not have the economic power. They did not have the educational resources. All they had was a drive to be better, to reach out and live the American way. When we've been here, we talk about the 400 years of captivity. So we've been here at least 600 years. We've been here at least 1,000 years. Well, if you go back to the pyramids, we've been here for 5,000 years. And look at us. We allow for everybody to come in and subjugate us. We allow for everybody to come in and take over what we do. We sit back and we want to get high. We want to get drunk. We want to have sex and make babies, but we don't want to create a future. We can't even look any further than next week down the road. And when I'm being inclusive, and you have the deviation of the norm. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm just talking about some of the bodies in our community. And this is what sad me, and it upsets me that you have people that come in and they want to make a difference, but they really don't make a difference because we're like robots. And again, I'm being inclusive of black people. We have become robots. We don't have a mind for ourselves. We don't think for ourselves. They take and turn the screw in our back. They wind us up and we just march in the direction that they want us to go. We vote blindly for a Democratic candidate. We continue to allow for everybody to come in here and make us less than what we have the potential to be better or be greater. And that's sad. And it's sad that we can see these things and then we'll say, oh, well, we don't give a fuck. Here, man, pass the blunt, pass the beer, pass the whiskey, pass the wine. Hey, man, go in there and pull your clothes off. Let's just go and have sex and knock each other out. Wow, but okay, so we are being fruitful and we're multiplying. But we'll fill it. The Bible said the earth, then said the prisons, because that's what we're doing. We're not filling the earth up, we're filling the prisons up. And that's what's sad. We're filling up the unemployment line, the food stamp lines, and all these things that we're doing. And I'm being inclusive again, meaning that I'm including myself. You have the deviation of the norm. You have people that have the education and they went to either the traditional black universities such as Jackson State, Alabama State, or they went to, we're going to say, the Eurocentric universities such as UAB and Alabama and Auburn. So we have the Negroes that have the education. We have the black man and the black female that have the education. But then again, even with the education, they become robots. Don't look. One of the things that I found as a problem in our community is we don't want those that are coming behind us to be better than us or to do something that we're not doing. We will stand in the damn way. Joe Biden needs to sit his ass down and go home. If you're 17 years old, you can get Social Security at 62. So in my opinion, if your ass is 62 and you ain't got no business running for nothing, being nothing, or doing anything, take your ass home. Sometimes you have to. You have the deviation of the norm. But when you find yourself 70 and 80 years old and you running for mayor or you running for anything, then it's not fair to the people such as Terry Rogers II. It's not fair to the people like Cedric Ruffin, who's from Kenya David Ruffin. It's not fair to him. Yes, he ran for office, but you know what? Instead of you embracing him, you do everything you can. And I don't want to single Cedric out. Maybe I consider him a confidant and a friend. But instead of embracing his phenotype, instead of embracing his man type, or his educational accomplishment, or his educational abilities, or his cognitive ability, instead of you embracing that and sending it out there for our children to see that, hey, you don't have to have the white man or the white female to be a role model. You can have the Cedric Ruffin. And it's sad when you take somebody such as Andre Harris, who has if you have an education, you take somebody like Andre Harris and you give him that job, and you have Judge Roberts resign because he's running for sheriff, and then you take somebody else that been a policeman all their life and make them the judge. That shit ain't fair to the Black community or anybody that's dependent upon the people that are in a position of authority to make sure they're okay. When a person go to the court, it doesn't matter what the color of their skin is. It does not matter the color, how much education they have or don't have. It does not matter how much weight they have or how much weight they don't have, how good they look or how good they don't look. It does not matter how they smell or anything, because when you go in that courtroom, the courtroom's supposed to be the great equalizer where everybody is the same. But when you have judges sit their ass in there and judge you because of who you are, they don't like you, they got their damn feelings on the sleeve, or you have judges that got somebody in their ear because they got a bougie job, it has nothing to do, and so they listen at them and they don't want to hear what you have to say. They don't want to see your evidence. And then when you present the evidence, they find any little loophole not to be fair to you, not so that you can win, but they find any little loophole so that they can find you guilty or rule against you, oppressing the oppressed. And that's what's wrong with the state of the union. That's what's wrong with the state of the city. That's what's wrong with the state of the county, with the state of the state. That's what's wrong, folks, is that you have all these people that you keep putting in position of power and authority, and they don't give a damn about you. Only thing they care about is how much money they can make for themselves and their friends. Look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not the first to do what he did. Donald Trump is just so bold and so bad and so arrogant, he let your ass see what he did. Everybody's doing that shit. They're enriching themselves. They giving their best friend the job. They giving that job to their nephew, their grandson, or whomever. And listen to me, folks. Get mad if you want to. It's got to be something wrong with all you peoples out there that think that Joe Biden's supposed to do anything other than make sure Hunter Biden's okay. That's his damn son. You would do the same for your son. Everybody in the White House worked for Joe Biden. I wish a nigga would do something to my son and he worked for me. Now, I don't care what I don't want, like any parent, I don't want my children to do wrong. I want them to live a good life. Follow the rules, obey the law. That's what I want. But damn it, if they make a mistake and get in trouble, I don't give a damn what they done did. Ride or die, boy. 2 toes up, 10 toes up, and 10 toes down. I'm with them. I'm going to do everything in my power to keep them from either being killed, going to prison, going to jail, or going to hell. That's what any responsible parent to do. It has nothing to do with color skin. So all of y'all that taking issues and splitting hairs with Joe Biden, yes, his ass is too old to be there. I don't think that he's doing a very good job. Folks, please do not pay attention to the American media. Do not believe the lies that they tell you. There's no way that we're supposed to be fighting a proxy war with Russia, because that's what it is. For those of you that don't know, a proxy war is a war that you're fighting, but you got somebody else doing it. You got them up front, but you're in the background, perhaps hitting all the remote control, kind of like you watching TV. You didn't create the show, but you back there changing the channels and do that's kind of like what Joe Biden doing. But it's not just Joe Biden, it's wasting society. Joe Biden ain't running shit. He doing what he told just like everybody else. How is it that people in all the Western nations, such as France, such as the United Kingdom, such as Germany, they all speak different languages, such as Poland? How is it that all in the United States and they all gonna do the same thing? You don't even speak the same language. That's one of the things that God did when everybody was speaking according to the Bible, is because they were so smart and started building a tower up to heaven where he was. He separated everybody and gave them different languages. And so how is it that, and that would imply that if you have a different language, how is it that you can think alike? Oh, a translator? No, it's because the same people, well, you call them the Bilderberg, you call them whoever you want to, the Rosicrucians, you can call them whatever. You can call them the Masons. You can call, it's not Jay-Z. Jay-Z is one of the ones that set an example for a lot of y'all, but Jay-Z, the person that can buy Jay-Z, those are the people that actually run the world, not just the country, but the world. And I ain't gotten off on a tangent. I'm kind of upset. I'm upset that we're going into this thing now. We're running for public office, and I'm gonna talk. And I'm gonna talk. Yes, I'm supporting Wayman Newell. I'm supporting him. I'm supporting him because while Craig Houston knows politics better than any politician, he's a stellar person, but I think he's politically correct. I can tell him that to his face. Now, if he could get to me, Craig crazy ass will probably come and want to fight me. And I'm gonna whoop your ass too, Craig. And but Craig, he whatever he say to you, he ain't gonna talk behind your back because he'll say your face. But I just think that, and I can say this. One of the reasons that I'm not supporting Craig this time is because when I ran for Ward 2 city council person or city councilman, I did not get the support from him that I gave to him, and so I saw that. And am I tool belt? No, I'm not going into details, but he know, and so I'm not going into it. But I'm supporting Wayman Newell, and this time Wayman Newell, I think that you got to pass the baton, and I think we need to pass it. I don't care what color the person is, but we need to pass the baton to a young person. Now, I've talked to you about all these different people that could run for public office. I talked to you about all the people that are going to run, and just about everybody going to run for office is in their late 50s or 60 or 70. And that's not fair to the Black community. And even some of the people that are running, such as Carlos Wallace, he's a younger person, and Carlos Wallace is the person that I think that people like him or his age or his group now should already be in politics. And I'm just telling you the truth. He should already be in politics, not now. He should have been in it before, but he's young enough to be in that, get into that job and do what he need to do. Am I supporting him? I wish him all the luck in the world. I think he have a bright future in politics. And the thing of it is that I am supporting Wayman Newell, and I gave my word to him, and I am supporting him. And then I've seen him, and Wayman's a fair man. He'll talk to you. And I know some of you out there say, I know what you say about the watermelons and the pot peas and things like that. But Wayman is all right with me. I like that in him. And Wayman does not wear his feelings on his sleeve. That's what I like about Cassie. People, I kind of like went off on a tangent, so I kind of like had to talk about us. One of the things that I gotta say to you, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again and again. If you look at the superintendent of Meridian Public School, let's just talk about Meridian. Let's talk about the state of Mississippi. The state of Mississippi, Meridian is designed. Black folks, there's more Black people in the state of Mississippi than it is any other state of the 50 states. There's over 38% of the population is Black folk, but it's one of the worst states to live in. It is the least educated state. It's number 50. Google it. Mississippi is number 50. Number 50. I just read this a week ago. I wasn't surprised. When you have Meridian Public School that fails F, D minus. Hell, it ain't no difference between an F and a D minus, in my opinion. I think if a person has a PhD or master's degree or any degree and they're the superintendent of any public school, if they can't get a C or better, send their ass down the road. And here you have people, you have black folk, you have what you call a board of trustees over the board of education, the board of trustees. These are the people that actually can fire the superintendent. And you have what you call an attorney for the school board. I think his name Snowden, not Compton. John, it's one of the, I think it's John Compton, and I may be wrong, but his last name is Compton, unless he just gave it up. Folks, do you realize that Compton is his grandfather was Witherspoon Elementary School, who was the board attorney when I went to school at Meridian Public School. See how they pass it to the children, to the church, and we got to get away from that. Now I'm gonna tell you what Andre Harris doing. Andre Harris got that job given to him by the board of supervisors, and he's been an atrocious judge, arrogant as fuck. Nigga, you just got the title, but you don't have the education of a judge or anything like that. And that's sad that it does not require a law degree to be a justice court judge in the state of Mississippi. That's sad. Mississippi, matter of fact, Jackson, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the last time I checked, Jackson, all of the judges in Jackson, the capital, Hinds County, Rankin County, had a law degree. I think it should be required. You got to be able to understand what you read. You got to be able to interpret law. You got to be able to present. But let's say you did have a law degree. You still fall in lockstep and play. Everybody wind up, you know, the wind up toy, and just moving in one location. It's supposed to be a people's court, but it's not. It's not. Folks, y'all get up and go. Black folks, get up off your ass and start voting. I was in the Meridian Police Department today. And when I was in there, I saw about 15 people in there, or 16 or 17. And I counted, folks, and out of all those 17 people in there, and I was talking to Fred. I said, Fred, only about 5 of them now are voting. And he looked at it and he said, you right, bro. And guess what, folks? The 5 people that were voting are the 5 white folks. And chances are, black folks be ready to vote, but they're not voting. Why you think Chris Reed gonna run for mayor in the city? He ain't told me this. I'm just figuring it out. There's no way a white person will run for mayor in the city of Meridian and think they could win it unless they think they had the votes. And guess what? He'll get some black votes. But guess what? He'll get all the white votes, Democrat and Republican. And that can get him in there. Because most of the people, like my mom, my brother, my daughter, they're gone. And they're not coming back. And the people that we're aging, we're becoming an increasingly aging population where we're not voting. And we've been so arrogant and everything and so tight ass and keeping the job to ourselves that we haven't been aligned for the generation behind us. They call it the next generation. We have not trained them nor prepared them or given them the baton. We've been keeping it for ourselves. And let me tell you something about you niggas that think you one of them, because you're not. You think you is because you got the job, but you're doing what you're told to do. Your ass is being wind up too. You know what? You Negroes that's in charge, that think that you running shit, that think that because you're the mayor or because you're the supervisor or because you're the city council or because you think you're a representative or a senator. I don't care if it's on a state level or national level. You steal the dog up under the table. It's getting scraps of meat thrown to you. You just don't know your dog. And the difference between you, dog, and me, dog is that you there thinking that you one of them, but you're not, because you're getting scraps of meat up under the table just to take meat out of our mouths. And that's sad. That's real damn sad. That shit is unnatural as fuck. It's unnatural when you take from your own and you empower someone else. I heard an ignorant ass lady say about a couple of weeks ago, I don't see no color. And this, I almost heard the B word. Make 7.25 an hour. Talking about she don't see no damn color. Her ass goddamn can't hardly stand up behind the counter. Talking about she don't see no color. Everybody the same. But when I started talking and started pointing out to her that everybody not the same, hey, you just lying to your damn self. That's some ignorant ass talk. And white folks would tell you that shit because that's what they want you. That you want to hear that shit. Man, I had a show today, damn it. I done went off on a tangent and shit. I'm being Eddie Hope now. And I'm just angry about a lot of things. And here I am I'm 70 years old in a few more months. I ain't got no business out here speaking up for you guys. And I gotta tell y'all something too, man. I've been pretty angry lately at some things. Be pretty angry. I go around into the community and I see things and that shit make me angry. So I'm finna talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about this is what I want to talk to y'all about. I want to go on a national level first. They getting ready to send cluster bombs. The United States is to Ukraine to use in their cannons to fire against the Russian or whomever else that they consider the enemy. And Joe Biden is giving it to them. Now, when this war first started, Joe Biden told Russia, if you use cluster bombs, it will be illegal and it will be criminal. And that's not going to happen. Now, Russia never did. And Russia don't have to, but folks. They have what they call Patriot missile system. They done gave that to the Ukraine, or the HIMAR, high intensity, some kind of motor velocity, whatever it is. Tool belt know what it is. Y'all call him up. He'll tell y'all what it is. But anyway, that thing's able to shoot 32 missiles. And Russia has a hypersonic missile. That missile so damn fast, they shot up all 32 missiles and did not touch it. And that missile went in there and blew that thing up. And so the U.S. lied and said they shot the hypersonic missile down and the shrapnel. Now, y'all think about this now. You know, if you hit, the Israelis has an Iron Dome. And so when the Palestinians attack them, and you can Google this, they're able to shoot missiles down with other missiles. And you ain't never heard nobody say anything about shrapnel coming down and tearing up the missile system. But the reason why they're sending the cluster bombs over there, one reason is that it's against the law to use them. They was developed during World War II. They were using Vietnam. They was using Syria. Using Iran, not Iran, but Iraq and wherever Gaddafi was. I forgot the name of that. I think Syria. They were used there, and even in Vietnam, innocent people, women, children, old folk, young folks are still being killed by these bombs because they have a dud rate of 5 to 20%. For those of you that don't understand, a cluster bomb is that they're shooting the missiles out. And so it explodes and it shoots all these bombs out. They go everywhere, say about 100 bombs. 5 to 20% of them does not explode. Years, decades after the war ended, somebody step on one and they end up getting killed. To these things, that's the reason why they are outlawed to use them. What kind of goddamn country do we have when you have a president gonna send it over there to kill other folks? For those of you that are being told, yeah, do it. What has Russia or what has the Russian people done to us? They haven't done anything to us at all. That economy is striving, while the Western countries are having it. They run out of. They send it over there, folks. In other words, to get rid of theirs here in America, and also because they didn't have anything else to send them. And the Ukrainians are getting their butt kicked. They're getting whooped, and it's gonna end soon. And guess what? The Russians are kicking their ass. I'm not mad at Russia about anything. I don't like when we have so many problems in America with unemployment, homelessness. Look at California where they have RVs parked on the side of the road. Look, they have half of the homeless population is in the state of California. There's no way that we should be spending billions of dollars, trillions of dollars in other countries when we have all these problems here in America. Everybody has received some kind of reparations, but black folk. But let's just get out of it. We ain't got to get no reparations. But let's do right about, let's clean up our house. So something is going on. It's all about what they call a military industrial complex, where they make weapons and sell. Folks, they got planes that don't work. They got the F-35, if I'm not mistaken, that's not working. So they threw it to the side. They have tanks that does not work. They have hypersonic weapons that they could not make, so they don't waste billions of dollars trying to build it. For those of you who don't know, a hypersonic weapon is so fast. It is so fast. They don't have a missile in the Western countries that could touch it or catch it. You can't stop it from hitting what it's going to hit. And the Russians are controlling the airspace. They're using hypersonic weapons. They have killed so many Ukrainians. And it's not fair to the Ukrainians. For the Western nations should not. And for guess what? The dollar's being de-dollarized, meaning that the central bank, this is a central bank is a bank in one central location that buys things in the financial market in other countries. A lot of other countries, because the U.S. went in there and they banned Russia from the SWIFT bank. This is the bank that had everybody money. They froze their assets. They're taking their gold up out of there. They're moving it, and the dollar they're going with a different currency. The dollar is still the main currency to use to purchase other things in other countries, but it's not like it was. And just think about it. And so a lot of these countries, they have, I think, BRIC, B-R-I-C. Something that's going to actually take over NATO right now. If U.S. actually would, if Russia, but I'll just tell you, I couldn't have been Vladimir Putin. You couldn't have had Eddie Hope being over Russia. Shit, when y'all start sending weapons to another country, I bet you it wouldn't have never made it. I'd have blew it up at the airport. Now, I've been like Israel. Look at what Israel does not play. Vladimir Putin, you better do what Israel doing. Mess with Israel. They'll tell you what to do. That's me. That's how I fight it. Well, there's no way I would allow for you. I'm fixing to fight you now, but I'm gonna allow for your next door neighbor or somebody down there that don't like me to bring you some weapons so that you can kill. Hell no, that ain't gonna happen, because I'm gonna take your next door neighbor out. I'm just not gonna do it, folks. They actually, it's all designed because they got all these weapons and things that they don't work. But in America, they're so greedy and so money hungry, they don't care that it don't work. When you can pay $100 for a bullet that only costs a few pennies or $1,000, that's how it is in America. They have used the government making things and building things in order to feed themselves. Jeff Bezos is on his way to being a trillionaire, and he's paying his employees $16 an hour. Folks, that's atrocious, but it's just not him. That's just how it is in America. They don't care anything about the people. Nothing is being made in America. Everything's been made in China. China is the new world order. I'm just telling you, that's the next world power, not the new world order, but the next world power, if they're not that already. But let's get back to our community. Let's get back to what's going on in our community. And so we know about that. I got to talk about DeCarlo Clark, is my son's first cousin. I talked to y'all about DeCarlo Clark, how he was charged with, and you know, I said I was going to challenge this law, this sexist, racist ass law in the state of Mississippi, where a 16-year-old girl can have sex with someone 3 years her senior, a 17-year-old girl 3 years her senior, a 18-year-old girl can mess with anybody they want to. Now, folks, now you have white folk that have been placed in prison for statutory rape. If you look at the statistical research, the majority of white folks that are in prison for raping, they in there for raping their damn 7-year-old. Now, I'm going to just tell y'all the true story, and I ain't going to call no names. At one time, I was the executive director of the Alabama Abuse Counseling Center in Bessemer, Alabama. It's all over that state of Alabama. We got in Tuscaloosa. But my office, the office at that particular time was on 3rd Avenue. And so I had my master's in counseling, and I still have that. And so that put me in charge. They had lost funding. I helped them got funding back. Yeah, too bad with my own stank ass attitude. By the time they got funding back, and the guy that one of the incorporators, these are the people that actually incorporated the nonprofit, coming there talking to me, and I snapped, and I lost all my education that day and told them to kiss my ass and went out the damn door. And I'm just telling y'all the truth. But one of the person that I saw, I've seen people that was in there for rape. The black people I saw in there was in rape. They was always in there for raping an underage girl. underage girl. I'm just telling you now, we said underage girl. The girl was maybe 15 years old, and the person may have been 23, 24, or 34, or 44. In the state of Alabama, a 16-year-old girl can have sex with anybody she wants to, folks, as long as they're not in a position of trust, meaning like a teacher or that's in college or high school, anywhere. So they can't be in a place of trust. If you're a school teacher and you mess with a 16-year-old male or female in the state of Alabama, you go to prison for that. And you can Google that. In the state of Mississippi, uh, when you see a black person in jail for messing with somebody, usually somebody like maybe 20 years old messing with a 16-year-old, or a we'll say like maybe a 19-year-old messing with a 15-year-old. Now, according to the Mississippi Constitution, a 14-year-old is not chaste, can have sex with anybody she wants to. Now, that means that if a 14-year-old girl managed to some kind of way go and not lose her virginity, according to the Mississippi Constitution, that she can have sex with anybody she wants to. But if she's a virgin, if she's chaste, meaning that she's never been touched, you can't touch her if she's 14. But if she's 15, you can. That's the state of Mississippi. Now, let me tell you what they did now. They went and they changed, they amended the Constitution. So they changed that law, but they did it in such a racist and discriminatory manner that I'm going to be the one to file a lawsuit on it. Because when you look at a white person, I'm going to go back to the job I had that I said in the group. It was a guy in there, he was almost 80 years old. And he was in there. They did not send him to prison. They put him on probation. He was in there for having sex with his 2-year-old daughter. And that's the truth. That's right. Now, when you see white folks, when they commit statutory rape, now I was in prison before in the state of Alabama. I was in there with a guy, he was about 45 years old. And he was going with this white lady. This is a white guy. And he was in there for statutory rape too. And the girl went to the doctor at 4 years old, she had gonorrhea. And I understand. And this guy argument was that she wasn't a virgin when he met her. What kind of sick shit is that? And now this is a white guy. So I'm saying this now. Y'all might not like what I'm saying, but we'll go. You're gonna have a deviation of norm. But when a white person goes to jail, okay, let me tell you about another person. It's a true story. No, I'm not giving name. Two Bessel, bro. You don't remember the damn names anyway. You sure right. I don't remember the names. But anyway, this guy was in there. He wasn't about 30 years old, and he had been in prison for 7 years. He had got like about a 15-year sentence for incestuous. Both of them was charged with incest, but it was statutory rape. And he was in there for having sex with his 7-year-old son. And two, but the problem with that is that he couldn't play with me because I read his file. But he had went to prison for 4 years. His son was 3 years old at the time he did it. He sodomized his 3-year-old son. And y'all know what sodomize is. That's anal sex. And of course, it's most states say it's unusual sex, not the traditional sex, but unusual sex. So I said this to say this, is that you'll see white folks in prison in the state of Mississippi for statutory rape, but this ain't gonna be nowhere they 19 years old having sex with a 16-year-old or 20 years old having sex with a 16-year-old or something like that. You ain't gonna see that. The only people you're gonna see that been done to, you're gonna see that's been done to mostly the majority of that's been done to black people. And I'm just telling you too. Yes, you're gonna have some black people that's in there for lustful touching of a minor. You're gonna have some black people in there that done actually had sex with maybe their stepdaughter or some kind of stuff like that. You'll have that in there. But my point of it is that any law that sexist, and then you'll have the deviation norm on both sides, white and black folk. But it's still a sexist law. How in the hell are you gonna tell somebody at 16 years old they can have sex, but they can't have sex? You can have sex with anybody you want to all the way up until you're 16 now. You can have sex with anybody you want to. You can have sex with 100 niggas as long as they 19 years old. Now, what kind of sick shit is that? And then if you're 17, you can have sex with 1,000 niggas as long, or crackers as long as they ain't but 20. But when you're 18, you can mess with a motherfucker as old as I am. Kind of shit is that? That's sexism, ageism, and discrimination. I'm gonna file a lawsuit on that too. Tubell said, "Damn, bro, you sure we're gonna be filing a lot of damn lawsuits?" Well, I just think I think I need to do something. If I can make a difference, if I can do just one thing and make a difference, I can say that's job well done. I might not be successful, but I'm gonna get their attention. We're gonna make them change those laws, and one day, about 30 years or 40 years from now, when I'm no longer 35 to 40 years from now, when I'm no longer here, you'll be able to look back at this video and say, that nigga said it. That nigga changed history. That nigga changed state. I've already done that one time. And so I just wanted to talk about DeCarlo, but I got to tell you about DeCarlo too. And DeCarlo, I got to look at him like my nephew because that's my son's first cousin. And I've been knowing his mama and his daddy that long. Carl Clark, that's his son. He been in jail for over 2 years, Tool Belt. Over 2 years. He was in there for a year and a half in there for some kind of pill or drug charge. Folks, did y'all know that man went to trial and got found not guilty? And the police officer Hardy with the Meridian Police Department would not let him go. And they keeping him in there and trying to charge him again with possession of pills, trying to get him indicted. Folks, listen to me. Now, the Supreme Court says that if you're in a vehicle and there's drugs in that vehicle and there's 10 people's in that vehicle, all 10 people can be charged with that crime unless somebody claim it. But if don't nobody claim it, then it belongs to everybody. The supreme possession is 9/10 ownership. If it's in your pocket, it's yours. You can't say Tool Belt put it in there. You can't act like Gray Holder and say you don't know where it came from. Possession is 9/10 ownership. But folks, let me tell you this. They didn't get it out of his car. They didn't get it out of his pocket. Hardy found, if I'm saying his name right, I think Harlow Hardy, whatever his name is, we'll get his name correct or some other time if that ain't his name. He found about 2 or 3 blocks down the road. He just went and look, he didn't get it off him, folks. This ain't right. This is what's fucked up about the state of Mississippi and Lauderdale County, Mississippi, that you misuse a government procedure. Niggas, when I say nigga, I'm talking about white and black niggas, wearing their feelings on their sleeve. They don't know the law either because they don't like you or because they got you and they ain't got you right. They do everything they can to bend and break and shake the law and make it fit and make it applicable to you. And I'm speaking you in a general sense. But the problem is that you're not voting. I'm being inclusive. Of those 20 people, Tool Belt just said, bro, you said it was 15. Tool Belt, let me tell my damn story. Now quit interrupting me. Tool Belt always in my head, but he always keeping me straight. But like I was saying, it was 25. Don't do that, Tool Belt. It was 28 people in that courtroom and only three white folks in there. And all of them had their card in there. I went and asked all 30 of them black folks that in on voting, all 30 of them. I'm just being facetious, but you know, y'all, I had to give y'all a little comic relief right there. But of the 15 people in there, I would bet all my money that the 5 white folks were registered to vote and do vote and will vote. And out of all those black people in there, I guarantee you couldn't find, it was 3 of them in there that voted that I know of. That was me, Dietrich Roberts, and Fred Welch. We are the 3. I don't even believe the other. Man, one girl said, shoot, I'm just going to go ahead and plead guilty. I ain't coming down here no more. What kind of ignorant shit is that? Man, let me tell you something. It's got to be something wrong with you when you mess with me because I ain't going away quiet until the night. There's no way in the hell I'm going to plead guilty. And then if you find me guilty, they're going to have to tell me I'm guilty 10 years from now. I'll spend every dime I got. To me, to mess with me anyway is a great misuse of resources because right now, y'all might want me to move back in the state of Mississippi. Percy Bland said, no, don't do that. Stay where you at. I think I hear some of the up here. No, stay where you at. Okay, I said, leave me the fuck alone. Leave my family alone. And I'll stay where I'm at. I want to talk about some more things too. So folks, I gotta tell y'all something here. I had to do a little research. There's no accountability now. Remember that, and we gotta create that. I had to do a little bit of research, and I don't want y'all to think that this is something that I'm just finding out. I want to talk to y'all and let y'all know that I'm actually the chairman of the board at Greater Mount Hermon Baptist Church. I'm also one of the incorporated. That's on 1702 9th Avenue, Meridian, Mississippi, right across from the Masonic Club on the same side of the street. The old folk project is on 9th Avenue up the street where Minnie Lee Hope raised a lot of her grandchildren and a lot of her children grew up right there. That church right there, that's the first church that we ever went to. And it's the last church that I've been to. Folks, I had a member that come up to me about, I got mad when my son had to stay about a week in jail. So I had a church member to come up to me and I got mad. And y'all know I done said things. And Dustin kind of done pissed me off a little bit. And I can tell y'all that. But folks, I ain't never threw him up under the bus. And one of the things that's hard for me to do is that if you're a friend of mine, I got a friend. I used to have a friend that I don't fool with anymore. And the reason why I don't fool with him anymore is because he did something to me. And when you do something to me and we have a close relationship, I break away from you. And so like Dustin is I've always been proud of him. And I remember his dad doing things for me. And so I've always been proud of him and his accomplishment. And I've always been supportive of him. And I was supportive of him when he ran for city council, gave him money and supported and voted and got a lot of people to vote for him. And the same thing when we weren't successful when he ran as mayor. But I think that he would have been at that time and this time, I think he would have been the best mayor against Percy Bland, but he didn't make it. But I got to say this is that I had one of my church members that come up to me and she talked to me, and I'm not going to call her name. But she was telling me that she heard what I said about Dustin. And she said that she wished that I would have said something differently. And she went on to tell me some things. And since I don't call Dustin name, I ain't gonna tell y'all the things that I said that she told me. But I would not talk about on this podcast, and I'm not gonna talk about it now. Now I know Dustin probably gonna see this, and guess what, folks? I told Dustin that I trust him. If I gotta, I don't want to have to deal with nobody because of look, I'm on the side of the law. If follow the law and do what the law say. If the law bite me in my ass or indict me, then I'm good with that. Now, but if the law does not, or if it does that to you, I don't, you can hit me with the biggest stick you want to, long as it's a legal stick and you hit everybody else with the same stick, because I ain't gonna allow for you to hit me with a different size stick. You can't hit me with a big stick and then go get a little stick and think you're gonna hit somebody else with, or you hit them with a little stick and then you come to me and it's my time to take a lick, but I look at the stick done changed just 2 or 3 sizes bigger. Oh, we gonna have a fight on our hands. You ain't gonna hit me with a different stick. Now you go get the same stick, I'm gonna take my lick just like everybody else did. Now that's the way I am, and that's the way my family is. We ain't gonna let you do us differently. Too bad ain't gonna let you treat him. He's not gonna let you treat him different from everybody else. And that's how it is. And a lot of people, most people should be like that. But anyway, I'm saying this is that I know some things, but I'm finna read y'all something right there. Two best of brother. Now, how the hell you gonna do that? You gonna start talking about something? But I want to say this: attorney-client sex is a bad idea. It's also unethical. The ABA, that's the American Bar Association, has a model rule 1-1.8 parenthesis J, and it imposes a per se ban on client attorney sex. It does that. And over 30 states have adopted that rule. Mississippi adopted that rule in 2/18/87. Alabama did it in 5/2, May the 2nd, 1990. And I'm gonna go back again. Mississippi adopted that rule, or the rules of the ABA, the American Bar Association, on February the 18th, 1987. So, folks, not only now, two best bro. Now you just said per se. What the hell do per se mean? I'm finna tell y'all what it say. Inherently illegal. It's illegal for an attorney to have sex with their client. Now, I know what some of you thinking that I'm talking about. Don't worry about who I'm talking about. They know who I'm talking about. I ain't just not know this, because the person that this person having sex with, her ex-mother-in-law, is a member of our church. And Two Belt know about it. Miss Two Belt know about it. You know what? And everybody at Mount Hermon know about it. Well, not everybody. Only certain people, such as Two Belt, especially Miss Two Belt. Miss Penny know about it. Reason why Miss Penny know about it, because Miss Penny and the lady that I'm talking about, boy, they like two peas in a pod, along with the first lady. So they know about this. So this is something that I've been knowing about for months, but I never done or said anything about it. Now, and I know what Tube Bell saying. Well, bro, why are you talking about it now? Because I'm tired of people fucking with me. I'm tired of people messing with me. I'm tired of people acting like they my damn friend and they not. I'm tired of smiling. I'm tired of putting a damn smile on my face. You heard the song? Put a smile on my face, but I'm fucking crying inside. I'm not crying. I'm mad as fuck. I'm tired of people messing with me. I don't understand damn YouTube, y'all. They took me off for 2 weeks. They said I gave bad medical advice. I know what he talking about. You can't say nothing about that damn shot. You know, that shot, that jab. You can't say nothing about that jab. This is part of their plan now. That's why they banned me. And so I ain't gonna say nothing about the jab, but y'all heard what I said. They took it down. They don't want me to talk about that. But it's true what they told me about these people getting pregnant after they took the jab. I'm gonna say the jab. Ice Cube talk about the jab. Redman said, hell with that stuff. He said it would have been life changing for him. But he said he would damn if he was gonna take the jab. And they took him off power. He was there, you know, from High, Redman and Method Man. How about he was gonna be on? He had did a couple of episodes. They could, hey, you need to take the jab. He said, I be damn. Shit, I eat beans out of can. I'll sleep in a corner, but I ain't taking that jab. I'm not gonna take it either. So, but anyway, I'm gonna go on to that. But I just wanted to point out to the folks. And now I gotta say this is that you just cannot. You just cannot. It's frowned upon. And so I have I just know it's frowned on, and I know and shit, I done talked in a circle because there's so much I want to tell y'all, but I'm not gonna tell y'all. But I want to say this is that I expect everything to be okay with me. I ain't going through another year of bullshit like I went through before. You know, just don't, man. You just can't never know, man. I just gotta say this, man. Y'all be careful when y'all deal with people that don't have your best interests in heart. Be careful when you deal with people. You don't even want to go to jail for one day. Do you understand that you can go in there for one day and you Google that shit? It's people done died in there that one day, died the same day, or go in there one day and end up staying in there for the rest of their life. And I ain't talking about one day. They go in there and some shit happened to them. Well, if you mess with a nigga like me, you gotta kill it. I'm just tell you that right now. You mess with somebody like damn Fred Welch, you gonna have to kill him because he ain't gonna damn just quit. He ain't gonna bother. He a good person. He ain't gonna bother nobody. He just wants you to leave him the hell alone. Man, I tell you, I want to go back and just look at my notes a little bit. I want to talk about this too. They had a forum in Meridian, Mississippi before I close out. They had a forum on June the 6th. This forum was given by Tavio Rand, and it was at the Davis Center. I'm going to call it that, the Davis Center. The reason why I'm going to call it the Davis Center, this is out there, well, Cafe 35 or whatever it is out there. Dwayne Davis has a daycare out there or something. I passed by, but I never been in there. And they had a meet and greet program there where they invited all of the candidates to come there and meet. And Tavia also invited all the people, I guess, in the different areas to come in and meet your candidate. So he invited everybody, Republicans, Democrats, everybody. He contacted them and invited them there. And Roy Calhoun went there. And I asked Ricky Roberts why he didn't go there. Ricky did not know anything about it. If he was gotten into it, being so busy and not knowing. But Ricky said if you have another one, he'll be there. And so now I gotta say this. It's what really kind of upset me, folks, is the fact that Loretta Bennett was not invited. Not because she's running as an independent, but because Tavio Rand don't like her. Now, that's what I'm told. Now, he never said that, but I'm told he don't like her. And I had a couple of people tell me that. But one thing would be indicative of that is the fact that he did not invite her. She did not know anything about it until one of the other candidates asked her where she going. She didn't know anything about it. Of course, you know, Lo probably said, hell, the nigga don't like me. I ain't going out there no damn way. But either way, here's the problem with that, folks. Tavio Rand is one of the so-called leaders in Meridian. Tavio Rand, see, he's doing like everybody else doing. He got his damn feelings on his sleeve. Because Tavio, I'm just telling you, I'm looking you in your face. Tavio, you should have invited Lolo. It ain't got nothing to do with who you like and who you don't like. Because you don't like it, you making it difficult for her to make it because you ain't letting her come out there and meet nobody. So then the implication gonna be that she was invited, but she wouldn't come out there because she felt like that she was either too good or she didn't want to talk to nobody. That shit ain't right. Now, if you're going to have a meet and greet, invite everybody. Make sure everybody that's running for public office get the same invitation. Lolo, she's a minority. She's a double minority. She's not only a black, she's a black female. But hold up, she's also a community activist. She's a social media activist. That's what she is. She cares about the community. Well, yeah, she come across rough sometimes. Yeah, sometimes she curse. I do too. Me and her done got into it before. So what? Have a lot of respect for her. She have a lot of respect for me. There's no way that anybody should have any kind of forum and don't invite all the candidates. Now, I think that Lolo would make a very good a very good judge, because Andre Harris is atrocious, but even him being atrocious, and Tube better tell you this, we had a program there and I invited him and I invited his son. Neither one of them showed up, came. They didn't respond. I had their cell phone number. I sent it to them. They didn't even tell me no. Now, it's got to be something wrong with a nigga when you turn around and you talk to them and they don't talk back to you. Oh, nigga, I ain't finna say nothing to you. I'm too damn bougie. I'm too good for you. But guess what, folks? You can humble both of them niggas if you send their ass home, because democracy means temporary job. This shit ain't goddamn entitled. This is not an entitlement. The very folks that you mistreat and you talk about and you treat disrespectfully in your courtroom, you lock up and you rule against them. You need their ass not to vote for you. There's something wrong with you niggas that turn around and vote for somebody like that. I don't care what color they is. Folks, I'm finna get off there. Y'all have a good evening. Thank y'all. Bye.